Yo, welcome back to another video. Today we are back into the open greatly, and we do have a completely different team here running the Skeledirge with the Vigoroth and Poliwrath. So ABB team, double counters in the back, protected by the Skeledirge here. Terrible lead here, as this Azumarill has revealed that it has Hydro Pump, so that even worse news. We don't want to see this Azumarill in our backline, plus this Skeledirge is very afraid of these Hydro Pumps as well. So Core Breaker straight off the bat ends up being a one shield situation. We're going to allow the second one to go through, and now we just got to hope that this Vigoroth can take this out before they get to their move. This Body Slam potentially could take it out. Okay, perfect. So they allowed it to go through. And they revealed that they have the Trevenant in the back. So Trevenant in the back, matched up against our Vigoroth, is very interesting because, number one, we don't want to see it on our Poliwrath, but they're saying their best counter to this Vigoroth is their Trevenant. We're okay with this. So we're going to go for another Rock Slide here to either get a shield or a potential KO. We do take out the Trevenant right there. So they do have the double Ghost in the back. Sableye right here is going to be able to take out this Vigoroth, and here we're going to try our best to debuff them first, I believe, because we're going to basically force them to potentially throw return. So we have to decide whether we want to shield here or later. We decide to let this one go, ends up being the foul play bait, and that was just a 50-50 call, and we got it right. So GG's to our opponent right there, able to win that backline with two counter users and double ghosts in the back. So even though it was looking very, very, very bleak, we were able to wiggle out of that situation. Next, we are met with the Charjabug. Great lead. They switch into their Wish Cache. We're going to switch right into our Poly. Poly is a little bit better, I think, towards this. Okay, they go for the debuff first, and they actually get it. So we actually had a decent matchup, and now we kind of have a neutral matchup now that we are a little bit of debuff. As you can see there, they are able to tank that Scold quite easily. Now they're forcing us to get to another move. They are able to throw a move right before we get to ours. Unfortunately, that Mud Bomb does not KO our Poly, and we are able to get a shield out of that Wish Cache right there. So not bad, I guess, but unfortunate that we had to give up the switch. Now we have the Skeledirge to try to farm down. Unfortunately, they are able to get to a Mud Bomb before being KO'd. But we did get a lot of energy on this Skeledirge. We know that they're going to come back in with their Charjabug. We're going to go for this Play Rough bait. This Disarming Voice bait. Unfortunately, not enough damage. And now we have to shield here because we do think that these Incinerates are going to do enough damage. Plus my next Disarming Voice will potential KO. They decided to let it go, and now they reveal that they have the Poly as well. So we're going to go for this Disarming Voice to get some big damage or a shield. Okay, we actually are able to farm to a Disarming Voice, and we're going to dip. So the resisting of the counters from this Poliwrath, we are able to save that energy on the Skeledirge, and now this is all but over because we have a shield and we can just go for this Disarming Voice. This is GG's, and on to the next game. So Skeledirge right there coming in clutch because able to beat their Poliwrath, and we just had to figure out how to save that energy. It was very close. We could have gotten KO'd, but we just trusted our Skeledirge to survive. Now we are met with the Shadow Nidoqueen. Shadow Nidoqueen here is throwing resisted poison jabs, but they potentially could get to an Earth Power, so this is exactly the scenario. We're going to shield here, ends up being the Earth Power, so great shield by us. They actually switch out into the Umbreon. This Umbreon right here is going to be pretty good against our Skeledirge, but we're going to leave that situation after throwing one Disarming Voice. We're going to go straight into our Vigoroth. This Vigoroth here is going to be able to counter, use their super effective fast move counter as much as possible. We're going to go and throw this Body Slam right before they get to another move here. Let's see if they end up shielding. No shield by my opponent, so we have a ton of energy on our Vigoroth. looking to throw it right back at this Nidoqueen. So we definitely got one shield. We are able to spam another one right here. So big decision by my opponent. Do they shield or do they let it go? They actually go for the double shield. And we know that we can come back in with the Skeledirge because we have a move ready. We're going to try to get a KO with a Disarming Voice. Unfortunately, it's not enough, so we have to invest a shield. We could have gone for the Shadow Ball right there, but we try to be sneaky about it, and we try to use a Disarming Voice to try to take it down, because it was Shadow. So, just a unfortunate situation, but it ended up being okay for us, because they ended up having Scrafty in the back while we had the Poliwrath. So, good decision by us in allowing the Vigoroth go down first. So, now we are matched with the Talonflame versus the Skeledirge. Kind of a weird situation. Both of us are running Incinerates. Both of us are trying our best to manage this weird fast move timing. We allow them to throw the move first. We go for the Shadow Ball. They do end up shielding. Now we have a decision made. Are we going to double shield? We are going to double shield. And we unfortunately over tap, and we unfortunately get CAP tied right here, and all that energy from that Skeledirge goes goodbye. So unfortunate right there. We could have gotten at least a shield or KO'd this Talonflame, but we are met with the Cresselia in the back, so I think we would have been in trouble anyways. This Cresselia is extremely good against our backline, so even though we were not able to take out that Talonflame a little bit earlier than necessary, they did have a Cresselia in the back. And it would have been tough to beat, because obviously Cresselia really good against our Poliwrath. And as you can see right here, taking this Vigoroth out quite easily. So we're just going to do all of this for science at this point. How much damage does this Scald or Icy Wind do to this Cresselia? The Cresselia does take out the Poliwrath does take out the Cresselia at the red health, so that's good to know. And of course they have the Skull, the Wish Cache in the back, so we're gonna definitely lose this game. So GG's to our opponent right there. They actually end up having the what is that? Talonflame Wish Cache core. Alright. Next game, let's see what we find. We got the Skeledirge versus the Bastion. Terrible lead. We're going to switch on to the Vigoroth. We are met with the Annihilate right here. Unfortunately, we can only go for this Rock Slide, which is still resisted. The Body Slam would be double resisted, so that's why we are electing to go for these Rock Slides. But as you can see, this is an absolute hard counter. We have nothing to throw at this Annihilate. They're able to just get a full farm down. And now we know they have a ton of energy to throw back at this Skeledirge. They have potential Shadow Ball energy, so we have to shield here. We do get the shield correctly. We do farm it down at least. Now we're going to switch right out into the Poliwrath as soon as Bastion, but they swap out into the Sableye. So they had double Ghost in the back versus our double counter users. This is terrible. This is not going to be good. We were looking for the debuff right there with that Scald. Unfortunately, RNG was not on our side right there, so we're going to have to do it the old-fashioned way. We're going to get this Icy Wind debuff, and do we survive or return from this health? And the answer is no, so unfortunate for us, this is GG's. We're going to allow them to take us out at this point, because they do have that Bastion really healthy still. So even though that Foul Play doesn't KO, we know that they have this Bastion still, so unfortunate. Hard countered. GG's. So check out this team if you haven't already, and let us know if you enjoyed the video.